Good morning, guys. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, and today's Tuesday.
No,
Today's Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Oh my gosh, time is flying so fast. Today's Wednesday, guys. Man, I got thrown off a little bit. I said Tuesday. I'm like, what? But regardless, I want to give God all the glory and all the praise for waking me up this morning and just the opportunity to trade, make money, and help others make money. But also have my beautiful wife beside me.
Good morning, everyone.
So with that said, we're gonna jump over to the charts and then get going. Right now, I'm watching Baba, guys. I'm looking at Baba. Couple other stocks. I have Google on a swing. I have Google on a swing from yesterday. Is that a day chart?
Yeah.
Oh, Google might be a call right out the gate.
Okay.
No. So, all right, we're looking at Google as well. Google already broke to the upside, guys. Google already broke to the upside. But Google would be a call.
Amazon crossing. All right.
Give it time to settle. Right here. You in Google?
I am.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm up already, 4%. It's me.
I'm gonna actually do Google. I'm watching also Baba, guys. I'm watching Baba for a break of this day. And if Baba break this day, then I'll be in a call on Baba. Let me see something because Apple looked like it wants to push. Apple is already pushing.
Apple pushed out the gate.
Yeah, Apple's pushing out the gate. So
Google could go up to VWAP. You hear me?
Huh?
Google's pushing.
All right, so
day high too.
So Baba is gonna be a call, guys.
If you got in with the Google 170 calls with us, you're up almost 15% right now. So you're up 15% on that play. 20%. 20%. Excuse me.
Hold on. What happened with Baba?
So we're pushing on Google. We're up 22%, 23%. We're going.
Oh, Baba just immediately dropped.
25%, guys. We're almost at 30%. If you guys, we're at 30% already. We're still pushing, but we still got some ways to go. If you want to trim, you can. We're up 35% already on this. We're approaching almost 40. Dang, Google. Am I going to hold you? That's what I'm talking about, you guys.
Let's go.
Google is still pushing.
Let's
Google
go.
is pushing. We're up 42, 43%. We're still going. All right, we're approaching 50% right now. Is there any resistance there, or is that just...
Let's go on Google right now.
We're over 50%. We're at 52%.
72 right there.
There's some red there. What's that about?
Yeah.
Hold on now. You know me and my trailing stops. I don't play that.
Oh, this is the first 5 minute, guys. I'm not even playing around. This is the first 5 minute.
Let me do a little trail stop. Still pushing, but if it continues, it continues. I got a little trail stop.
Let's go.
I'm happy with it. We're over 50%. Took me out. Pull on that little pullback. So we got over 50-something% if you were in that particular trade with us. Yep. Right out the gate. Like, it was that simple, that easy. And that's what I'm talking about. All you got to do is get in and get out.
Yep.
I saw a little red. I saw a little resistance. This thing should continue to run. But because on the 5 minute was almost, the time was almost up on the 5 minute, new candle was coming in, I didn't want to play. Like, it should go up to 172.
172.65.
But again,
it should go up to.
I'm okay with it. And you got to be okay with your profits when you see profits.
Let's go.
So, and my husband's over here probably with over 100 and something% on his.
No, I sold that one. I did 165%.
He did 165%. That's what I'm talking about, babe. I'm proud of you.
So that one.
Look at Google, right, still pushing.
Right now I'm up.
But you know what?
I still have.
It still had so much time in it.
I still have Google, guys. But with this one is for next week.
Listen, married to the market, so we still have Google, honey.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Yours is mine.
Sorry. We still have Google right here. Right now we're up 37% and still pushing on this. We're gonna have some type of resistance. I'm looking right here on the daytime. You have to look, right? This is the two. Where's my lines? The 200 is right here, so we're probably gonna come up and test the 200 on that. If you look on the daytime, that's right at the 200 as well. We're approaching VWAP, so expect to come up to VWAP, guys, or get close to VWAP and some type of rejection.
Oh, sorry, guys. Apologize. Okay, go ahead.
So here we go.
Google is for sure pushing. It's got to go up there.
Let's go. Let's go, Google.
Again, I had a trail stop, so that's why it took us out of that particular trade. But I'm still happy with the profits.
Up 48% on this one right now.
And that could be all that you do. Like, look how easy that was. Right out the gate. I got 50-something%. George just did 100 and something% within minutes. This is what I'm talking about. You don't need to. Like, literally, we could just sign off right now and be done for the day. That's how good this morning has been so far.
Yeah.
And he's still holding a Google runner. So
yeah, I'm still in. Well, we're still in Google.
We're right. It's called Married to the Market. So we are married. So what he makes is mine's just as well, ladies. So, but yes. So if you look on the right side of the screen, that's Google. On the left is Baba. But right now we're just watching Google. And Google should still continue to run. I just put a trail stop in, and that's why it took me out at the 50-something%. But the fact that he's still holding, I love him for that.
Yeah, up 51% on these right now.
But remember, he did close out the 100 and how much?
I did that one at 160%.
160%. Imagine if you put something in that trade.
Just something.
And I'm never going to tell anybody what to put, right? Some people
we
might
don't
put
do that.
100, 500, 5,000, 10,000. Everybody's trade is going to look different depending on your capital amount. So, but regardless, 160-something%, even if it was $1,000 trade, that's still nice. That's a good day.
It's a great day.
It's a great day for somebody. So, but yeah, I'm out of that trade, in and out.
All right, so I need Google is settling off right here. Um, I like my profits. I don't want it to come back down and break this 5, but here we go. We're pushing.
It needs to go to that red line. You see that red line that says 173.64? That's really where it should be going to next.
Yeah.
But again, it could take a little bit of time. And remember, this is options. So it could eat up your contract where you were at your highest and it pulls back down and then goes, it might not. So I always say sell into momentum.
Yeah. Yeah, let's cut down to a smaller time frame right here.
Yeah, right. I get to the point. He's different than me. Let me be up 107%. I'm going down to the 1 minute. Because once that bad boy reversed on a 1 minute, I'm out. I do not play about that. So listen, I chose E-Trade because E-Trade allows me to put in trail stops. I'm a trail stop girl. I do not like to let a green trade turn red. Now, trading in Robinhood is a lot more easier. See, it's still pushing, guys.
Let's go.
It's a lot easier if you're now starting out, but you got to learn to when to take your profits. It's not to say you cannot put a trail stop in Robinhood.
Yeah, you can't. So right now we're up 60% on these.
So that's like 3 trades already for the day.
So
I think he's saying he's all right with his profit. Are you done? Or are you holding?
Hold on, let me see if this reverses on the 1
You
minute.
need to go on the 1 minute.
Yeah,
it didn't reverse. It did not reverse.
Oh shit!
It did not reverse. Did you click it? It didn't reverse yet.
No, it didn't. But it's okay.
Listen, you got. Ain't you the one who was talking about diamond hands? Hold it.
Listen.
No, I'm just kidding.
There's difference between diamond hands.
But look, guys, you see where this line is? Look how much resistance is right here. It's been hitting that. So and it hasn't really broken that much.
Yeah. So right now, I shouldn't have closed. I just closed regardless. I shouldn't have closed until this broke. So until it broke this line right here, I shouldn't have closed. All right. So this didn't break. Right now, we're looking for it to break there. If it doesn't break, then that's still continuing up. So I shouldn't have closed. I should have still been in the trade. And then if this push up, which it probably is going to push up, then I still would have been more in profit. My thing is, I don't like seeing a certain amount based on pullbacks being up 60% and then you see a drop down and then you're up 45%. I don't like that. So I rather take my profit because we're getting closer as well to the 15-minute being done.
And you guys know with the 15 minutes is closing, more likely that the stock is going to retrace back down a little bit. It's extended.
Now, guys,
this is 200.
Yeah, that's why I said it's going to go up here. This is a crazy thing. This is not even 15 minutes in the market. You're talking about 60% trades, 100% trades. So this is the thing that options can bring you, right? Yeah, it
didn't break.
It didn't break. It didn't break. That was my fault. That was my fault. I would have been up probably 70% or more right now.
You would have been headed to your 100.
Yeah, I would have been closer to my 100% right now, literally, because it didn't break. The 1 minute, I went down to the 1 minute time frame. This 1 minute didn't break.
Look at that pop.
And then this is just pushing up more.
Do you see that blue candle?
Oh my God. All right, guys. So I mean, this is where I said, yeah, if you have a trading plan, stick to your trading plan, but also don't be greedy. Okay. Don't be greedy in the sense that, all right, you know what? I'm going to try to hold on and wait till it hit up here. My target is my target. Okay. But not because I have a target there. That means that I need to close my trade when it gets to the target.
Because sometimes it really never gets all the way to the target. It should today, but it may not.
Yeah. But again, even though my target is here, you guys have to understand with options is completely different than when you're trading Forex or futures. And I will say that till the day I die. Reason why. Right now we're having pullback, right? This pullback, I probably was up on the contract 70% up here. By this pullback right here, the contract is now down probably 55%, right? And then by the time I go up here, so the play around with the contract, if this is supposed to be a drop down right now and drop or trace right here, which I would be getting out of the trade soon, right? Because we have 1 minute left in this 15-minute candle. So I'll be watching my trade. And again, I would probably wouldn't
Never
be out.
broke.
It never broke. So I wouldn't be out of the trade because it never broke.
It never gave you a reversal that it was going back. So that's why I personally go down to a smaller time frame. Because if you see it reversing on the 1 minute, you could go ahead and say, all right, I'm going to take profit.
Yeah. So this never reversed on the 1 minute, guys. So in a sense, I still would have been in this trade. I got out when I shouldn't have because this didn't reverse. But I'm still comfortable with the profit. Over 50% is not horrible at all. The bank don't even give you 1%. They don't even give you a 0.5%. So me taking my money and make 50% on that, that to me is amazing. Now, what can 50% do over the time period? A lot. Okay. So now I would be getting out that trade. But if you look at it, this is the last minute of that 15-minute candle.
Seconds, 10 seconds left.
So now you having this pullback, your contracts are getting hit, right? So now when this pullback, I'm saying, well, I'm going to take it up to here. We're going to open up right now, and this 15-minute can pull back down to VWAP. Now my contracts are up 30% instead of being up 60, 70% because of that small pullback. So now when I get here, I might be up 50%. When I get up here, it could have been the same damn profit as I was right here.
Yeah.
So this is where I say make sure you're taking profit. I'm comfortable with taking profit. I'm comfortable in my skin and my trading plan. And you have to be comfortable in taking profit. If you're sitting here saying you want to be greedy, greedy is not
Listen,
it.
if you guys watch the latest podcast on YouTube, right? Married to the Markets podcast, we literally just talked about FOMO on Tuesday. That was what it was about, chasing things and how we're not into FOMO. When you've had all these years of experience, you realize it's not worth it. You're okay walking away or okay just taking your profits.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. So what that was one trade for the day so far. I had Google in from yes.
Do I have access to your computer on my computer? How is that even happening? That is so odd.
I think it's because you have why is that?
Is that because of that?
Mirroring?
No, can't be. You're moving my computer.
I'm moving your computer.
I don't know. I don't have access to my computer.
I guess.
Listen, when you have all of here we go. When you have all of these devices and they're intertwined, it's crazy sometimes. But that's how we are, right? We're just intertwined with each other.
There you go. For life, baby. For life. For life. All right. So I'm liking where we're at on Baba right now. Baba just break down to the low to down here. But the good retracement, like if it comes right down here to this line, I think I want to set an alert on here. So you see how Google is just dropping down? I would be crying right now. Look at how Google is dropping down, right? All that profit would have been gone. I don't play.
I remember when I first got into trading years ago, and he always told me, you better watch that 15 because as that 15 is ending, you're going to get a pullback. And ever since then, that really stuck to me. And I don't play about that 15-minute candle.
Yeah. So right now.
Look at that drawdown.
Yeah.
That shit hurt. Your contract ain't worth nothing.
Me. Yo, you hear the Jamaican come out. Me. What? Chuck. All right.
All your profits gone. Let me not laugh because somebody.
No.
That's not our fault though.
No, it's stupidness if you're in a trade same way. I told you I got out. It's stupidness, right? And I told you where I would have got out. Even up here, I told you this is where I would have got out. Correct. On this break.
So when you go down to a smaller time frame, sometimes it's going to show you the reversal, then waiting for the 5 or the 15 as well too. Guys.
Because if I waited on the 5 minute,
look, it did tell you on the 5. That was a pretty play to the downside.
Yes, it was.
So we could have took Google up, we could have took it down. I didn't even look at the 5 minutes.
And look at this. It have to come down, guys, because we had a gap. We had a gap to fill. It's a small gap, but we had a gap to fill. Gaps always need to be closed. I tell everybody that. And it came down and closed that gap. Right between here, you could see a little gap, right? And that's why I say on the daytime, if something gaps up in the day, right? If it gaps up in the day, then that's fine. It gap up in the day, the gap don't have to close on the day. But during the daytime, during that time of market open, you could see this gap up on the 1 minute right here. There's a little gap right there. That gap have to be filled, which it come right back down. If you notice, it come right back down to close this gap right here. Okay? These are things that you have to pay attention to in trading. The gap up from the day before, that's completely fine. Okay? So there's two different type of gaps.
You gotta explain gap up.
There's a gap up between like after hours and after hours when market close and when market open. There's gaps that can happen, right? This is that gap right here. Market closed yesterday, market open to this morning, and we have a gap up.
See that space in between?
This right here. So you have this gap right here. Okay? So that's that gap right there. That gap don't have to be filled today. It don't have to be filled tomorrow. It could be filled next week or next month. Okay? Those gaps don't have to be filled right away. Now, you will have gaps during the day. Okay? Those gaps most likely will be filled during the day. So in a sense, we had a gap up right here. Okay? So there was a gap up on the 1 minute. Right here. There was a small gap. Okay? And these gaps have to close. Okay? When it gap up on a 1 minute, the 1 minute will have to close because it's a smaller time frame. So the smaller time frames will have to close versus the larger time frames. They don't have to close today. They can close tomorrow. They could close in a couple of days.
Like 3 plays in one day. Look at this.
But it don't have to close right away. So if you notice, price popped up, came right back down, now closed this gap, and now is pushing back up. Okay? So those are the things that you have to look at and pay attention to. You could have said, "Lo, you know what? Let me wait. I ran it up all the way up here. Let me wait. If it come back down here, I'll take a trade right here on the pop-up." Or you could have traded coming down on this right here.
So you guys see that was a 2-2 reversal to the downside, and it hit target perfectly and a little bit more.
So this, I won't get into this a lot.
Yeah, no. But just to show you the different plays.
I won't get. Let me try to go down to a smaller time frame as well. Yeah. And then we also have this right here. So there's another gap right there. Okay. This opened up. This closed right here. This is an inside bar. It came down. It didn't close that gap and it popped up. Okay. So there's two different things happen. Now, I will say this. When you see candles like these on any time frame, right? The bigger the time frame, the bigger the move. Okay. If you're looking at a 1 minute time frame, I wouldn't suggest. Sorry, let me open this up. Let me just go on one screen. Let me go on one screen.
Because it might be confusing. Because right now we're looking at the right, so one screen might be very helpful. Okay, there we go.
Where is my chart?
And make it big.
Google.
Make it spread it out bigger.
All right. So let me take these down.
Just spread this out. That's it.
Take these down. I want to fill up the screen as much as I can. So let's go to the 5 minute. So anytime you see a candle, and this is the teaching moment that like, because we already traded and those were good trades, so I'm not rushing to make any other trades right now. Where's the brush?
You better than me. I think I'm done. Listen, when you have a good morning like that within the 5-10 minutes, You good. I'm good.
All right. I can't find the brush. Where's the brush? We're coming back up. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to find a brush. All right, I can't find a brush, but I'll do this instead. All right. So anytime you have this candle right here, so this candle right here. So this is a perfect hammerhead, okay? This is a perfect hammerhead, or what you would call, man, I wish I had the thing to draw it. Oh, there it is. All right, there it is. Hold on. Brush. Right, here we go. All right. So this right here, this candle right here, that is called a shooter, right? So that's a shooter, or what you will consider a upside down, or some people will call it an inverted hammer. Okay, that is a perfect kind of setup to the downside. If the candle looks like this, looks upside down. Now, if this candle was supposed to look the other way, like a hammer like this,
Now we go into the upside.
and then you have a candle that break to this direction, up this direction, right?
I love your drawing.
That's supposed to be an arrow, by the way. And it break up to that direction. That means that we're going to the upside. Okay. So this is an inverted hammer. This is a hammer. Okay. So when you hear about hammers, you have to learn price action. And sometimes I wouldn't say try to learn all the price actions because you don't want to confuse yourself. But I'll tell you one perfect setup that if you see it, you can take the trade, and this is the trade. Okay. Now I didn't see this. If I had saw this on the 5 minute, then I would have took it back to the downside as far as a second trade.
Yeah.
Right. So.
And it's setting up for a third one right now.
Right. It's setting up for a third one, but I wouldn't even mess with anything right now. Okay. So right now, this, once you see the break of the low of this candle, then your target will be down here. Okay. Now we already know that there was a gap up in the 1 minute, two places. So the target once this break is the bottom of the previous candle, okay, or the low of the previous candle. The previous candle being this candle right here. That's the low of the previous candle, which is this red line. Okay. So if you notice, once this candle breaks, once this red candle breaks this, if you notice, it comes right down and hit target right there. Okay. So we hit target right there, but we also know that if we looked at the 1 minute, there was gaps that need to be filled, which it came down and closed the gap right there on that 1 minute. So now we're in a situation where that was two great trades. Okay. That was two great trades. Now we have where we're setting back to go back to the upside. Okay. Now remember, our first initial target is up here. Based on the 15 minute, we said the 200 is right here. So we probably go up to hit the 200. On the daily, we almost hit VWAP, but the 200 is right up here. This line right here is my 200 MA line, which is moving average. Okay. That's my moving average line. That means that every 200, if the candle breaks below here, these lines act as magnets. Okay, so it counts the previous 200 candles that happen before when it touches. So it's always an average of the 200 daily candles. So if you go on a 15-minute, it's the average of 200 15-minute candles. And if you go down to the 5-minute, it's the average of 200 5-minute candles. Now, anytime you're below the line, the price is below the 200, you're normally considered, the stock is normally considered bearish. When it's above the 200, that's where you want to look for calls, right? Because it's going to be bullish at that point. So those are stuff that you take a look at. Now, this is popping back up to the upside. The 15-minute is about to close in 8 seconds.
Let me go back to the 5 real quick and see something.
On here, oh, why I can't. On here, if we break above this 15, which we look like we're about to, we're gonna go back
So
up
that's
to
an
day
inside,
high.
and now we're looking to do a breakout, a reversal.
Yeah.
Once it breaks, and it hasn't broke yet.
It
got
hasn't
close,
broke yet.
but it didn't break.
So if we break this 15, then we're gonna go back up. We should go back up to day high
Break
and
that.
continue up. And if we break day high, we're gonna continue up to the target up here, which is 150, 173. Let me drop this down a little bit. In here.
Right there.
So 173.55 or 173.50. Okay. So that's what I would be looking at as far as for our next target if we break. However, I've been out of this trade. As you can see, I've been out of this trade. Now, if I didn't take Google in the first bit of the trade, then I would be looking at Google right now for a trade to the upside if it breaks right
What's your
here.
news? It's 10 o'clock. Banks came in a minute ago.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock.
But I don't know
we
if
have
was-
Powell that's about to speak. So that's the next
now.
thing.
He's gonna speak now.
Yeah. So
You
and
have
then
to look at what's going on
oh my gosh.
with what happened. The numbers came in.
Look at new home sales. Well, I already know about. All right. So one thing too is, guys, I'm in real estate. So but real estate market
Remember,
is not the best right now.
Discord can't see that you're on that. They can't see that screen. They
Oh,
can only
they
see
can't
the chart.
see.
No.
Oh. All right. So let me see if I could.
I don't think you
No.
can.
Okay. No, you can't. So, one of the things that you always want to look at is you always want to have your screen up Forex calendar. You always want to look at what the day Forex Factory calendar. You always want to see what's going to happen that day. So you have news that comes out. So today I have red folders on the orange folders. I always pay attention to those. Every Wednesday at 10:30 you would have crude oil inventory. That's every Wednesday, no matter what. But you want to pay attention to those orange folders, orange and red folders. So right now, when you see red, that means it's important. It's gonna be high volatility. When you see orange, it's gonna be medium, but both of those can impact the market. I don't pay attention to yellow folders much. I don't pay attention to those. So right now, Powell is speaking, are about to testify. So that's going to have an impact on the market. Then we have new home sales that just came out. Okay. And new home sales is down significantly compared to what they forecast and compared to what was previous.
Yeah.
Okay. Now being in the real estate, yeah, that's almost 100,000 less.
Yeah.
So the home sales has dropped drastically. Okay. So yeah, so being in real estate, I already see what's happening as far as the market right now in real estate. There's homes that are sitting on the market for a very long time. I've seen houses that are sitting over a year.
Longer.
And they're not really expensive houses. They're listed at 500,000, 400,000. but those houses used to go quick. You're talking about as soon as they're listed, they went quick. So now you're not seeing that as much because of interest rate, but people got to realize that we're not going to go back to those 2% interest rate. But because we seeing that interest rate, we'll be like, oh, we'll
They want
wait.
to hold out.
We'll wait. Well, that there's a very slim possibility of that happening. So we just have to get with a program. But a lot of people now is like when you're buying houses, before a $500,000 house would probably cost you like what, $3,000 or so, right?
A month.
A month. Now you're talking about $5,000.
Yeah.
Right.
With the interest rate.
So you have people, that are paying crazy amount for mortgages going in, and you have to realize some people that are going into their mortgages right now, you have to have a secured type of income for you to even say, all right, let me go buy a $500,000 house is costing you $4,000 a month. Like, think about that, right? Versus you can, versus you can rent a $500,000 house for probably $2,800. So there's times where people paint the picture of the American dream. You have to buy and own your home. When you're buying and owning your home, you have to make sure that everything matches your criteria.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. I always say, if the numbers don't make sense, don't do the deal. So make sure the numbers make sense. If the numbers make sense, then go ahead and pull the trigger. But back to trading. Because of the new home sales, we might see a drop in the market. Okay, we might see that drop in the market. The numbers came out, probably that's why we had
that little pullback.
A
But the
pullback.
best one to see is like SPY.
Yeah. So at 10 o'clock, we have this pullback right here. But even with SPY right now, if SPY breaks out right here, SPY looked like it wants to go up to 210, 610, which 610 is gonna be the next level for SPY. Okay. There's always gonna be this magnet. You guys have to think about it as being magnets, right? You have psych levels. So psych level for SPY is 600. So every even number is gonna be a psych level. Now, once you get higher in stock price, then your psych level becomes a little bit more stretched out. So what I mean by that, with psych levels for SPY, a psych level would be 600. Okay.
605.
600 will be a psych level. If you notice, we had resistance, and then support on here. So 600. Then the next level is going to be 605, right? So 605 is going to be your next level of resistance. If you notice 605, we came right here at 605 and then reject 605 and drop right back down. Okay, we keep coming close to it, but we reject it. Then once we break above 605, the next level is going to be 610. Okay, so if you notice the level 610 up here, we're in a red zone. So if we go up to 610, what might happen is people might start selling at 610, but they could push it up to 613 or so and then drop it down. So it forced people out that initially want to go in at 610, force them out their contracts by pushing it up more and then drop it down afterwards, right? So you have to pay attention to those psych levels. Now this is on SPY, right? So on Apple, what will be a psych level for Apple being a smaller stock? A smaller stock mean that Apple will be, a psych level for Apple will be 200, right? So 200 will be a psych level for Apple. So right here, 200, right? That will be a psych level. Then your next psych level will be 202.50, okay? So 202.50 will be a next psych level. Then you'll have a next psych level of 205, right? And then 205, 207.50, right? Those are the psych levels. And what you could do is you could pay attention to your options as well, because your options will let you know the psych levels as well. The options kind of go in hand. So in Apple, you'll see 200 as a psych, as a contract. Then above 200, you'll see 202.50. Then above 202.50, you'll see 205. So it goes in increments of $2.50. So those show you like psych levels, right? Anytime a number hit on a certain, like if you notice, if we bring this over here at 205, look at all this that happened right here at 205. All this resistance level. Price came and reject. Price came and reject. Price came, reject. All that rejection right there, that's resistance. Okay? So you have to pay attention to those and make sure that you're paying attention to psych levels, because when it gets to psych levels, you could have that rejection. I want to say, did Google hit 202.50 and then reject? Could it
Not 202.
be? 172.50.
172.
It went very close, right? 172.09 was the high, right? 172 was the high. But you have to pay attention to those guys.
See how it didn't come back up right away. So
no. So right now your contracts will be like getting eaten up right now. Where's my thing? Where's the cursor?
On my computer. I don't know why it does that. There you go.
Okay.
We gotta fix that.
Yeah. So right now, the market is doing what the market does, right? I always say play what the chart gives you. Right now, we're in a double inside on Google. I think Google should continue up to the upside, but this is setting up perfectly for either a call or a put on Google. Okay, numbers just came out. You have Fed Chair Powell that's speaking, so with that, that's going to impact the market as well. So because of that, he might say something. You might be trading and be like, all right, everything looks good to the downside, and he might say something that skyrocket the market or let the market dump. Okay. So sometimes I always say, when people are speaking, when the president is speaking, you listen to them and see what they're saying. And then based on what they say, then you could jump into it. So a perfect person, anytime Trump is speaking, listen to what he's saying. The last time he said something about BA, okay? The last speech that I watched, he said something about Boeing, right? And as soon as he said something about Boeing jumped up $5. Literally, Boeing ran $5 in like 10, 15 minutes, okay? Because it was positive news towards Boeing. So those are trading opportunities as well when they're speaking. You just have to know what you're doing. I do not trade news as much, but in a sense, I always play what the charts give me. You can approach it from different ways, but just make sure that when you're trading, you know what to look for. Now, in this sense, Google is still above VWAP. These dotted lines is above my VWAP. Okay. So right now we have a double inside, meaning that this candle right here, we have this candle high and low. So let me show you this candle right here. You have a high and a low of this candle. An inside bar is a bar that opens and closes within the previous candle. So this candle right here did not break the high and it did not break the low. So this is called an inside candle or an inside bar.
It's inside the previous candle.
So with that, that's going to be labeled as 1 on my chart. Now, when you have a double inside, this candle is also a 1. It's an inside bar because this one did not break the previous candle, which is this one. It did not break the previous high which is here, and it did not break the previous low, which is right there. Okay, and now I have lines, so let me take these lines out. So it did not break the high and it did not break the low of this candle. So this candle is now also an inside bar, right? Now, when you have a double inside bar, what happens is based on the direction of the break of the candle, that's where you want to take your trade. So in a sense, right now we have 34 seconds left in this candle. If we break to the upside of here, then Google is going to be a call. If we break this area right here, Google is going to be a call, right? The first area that you're going to target is this line, followed by the original target, which is up here. Now, if Google breaks the low of this candle, this current candle right now, then we're looking for Google to come down to the first target, which is going to be right here, followed by
double inside because
this
new candle just started.
Yeah. So this is a great setup for a trade, okay? This is a great setup for a trade. So if it breaks right here, if this candle comes down and break right here, your first target should be right here at the bottom of this candle, followed by the target down here, which is right here. Now, because the bad news came out about new home sales, I'm not sure if that can drop the market significantly versus what Powell might say if we break right here. Okay, so if we break down, first target, second target, followed by, if we break here, we could drop all the way back down.
Because we got to fill some gaps down there.
Because we have to fill gaps. But if we break above here, this line, then your first target should be here, which is this high, followed by up here. Those should be your targets, okay? Which
it looks like it's gonna break out.
Yeah, which is coinciding with what we traded earlier, okay? What we traded earlier. Now, something that I'm gonna show you as well. Remember, this is the average of 200 bars, okay? So in a sense, Google haven't touched the 200 in 107 bars. Okay, it says 107 bars in 7 days. It haven't touched the 200 MA. Okay, so in a sense, we can run up and then reject off of here. So Google just break out. So now Google is a call again. Okay, so where would your stop loss be? Your stop loss is now gonna be the bottom of here. Okay, so you could keep your stop loss right there. Let me take a look. My wife already looking for trades. He's like, yo, let me look at this. Let me look at this. Let's see right here. All right, Google. What is that?
That was a 1 minute. No, you can go back.
Why are you putting on a 1
Because
minute?
I like to look at certain things for my entry. I'm a little different than you. Because that would have told me if it was going to pull back or if it's going to.
Yeah, but.
So my 1 minute would have showed that.
Yeah, but you can't. So with here, guys, if you enter this trade, your stop loss is right here.
Got you.
Okay, your stop loss is right here at the bottom of this candle. If it break this candle low, then it's going to the opposite. Let me go back up. So your stop loss should be right here at the bottom of this candle, the previous candle, right? Your target should be up here the first target should be up here at this red line, followed by the original target up there. Now we have, pay attention to this. So we have right here, this is the 1 hour candle. We have 10 minutes left into this 1 hour candle. And we came up and tested 200 and reject that 200. Okay. So these are the things that you have to pay attention to as well. Okay. You don't just look at one time frame. You want to make sure that you look at a few time frames to see what it's doing. Okay. The higher time frame, why we took the trade, because the trade, we jump in the trade because it broke day high. Okay. We had a 2-2 reversal. We had a reversal to the upside on this candle. And then we broke this day high. Okay. So the target on the 2-2 reversal is up here.
So I got in on that play real quick just to show you, and I'm up 10% right now.
There you go, babe.
So yes, I put my trailing stop, and I'm okay with it. If it continues to run, it continues to run. I'm up 13%, 17% now. I'm up 17% on it. So, and like I said, I just put a trailing stop. If it just pull back slightly, I'm out.
If you make money, I make money.
Exactly. So I just wanted to show you guys in real time, like it can happen. It can be done. It took me out. So there we go. Yeah. That was a quick little profit.
If you make money, I make money. So there you go. With that, guys, you just have to be patient with your trades. As you could see, double inside. These trades typically, I'm not gonna say they're 100%, but would follow your rules. Okay, follow the rules. If you see the trade, you take the trade. Okay. So with this, the first target is gonna be right here. That's the first target. So once it hit that first target, you can say, all right, if you're happy with your profits right now, then you can take your profit or scale out of your profit. We always say once you hit a certain level, my wife, once she hit 10%, she scaled out of her contracts.
Yeah. Right. But this one, I mean, we just saw 20% easy, but it's obviously higher now.
Yeah. So now with here, we're approaching first target. So as you could see, what did I say? A break of here. We're going to go up. We're going to test this right here. So right now we just went up. The contracts just went up almost, what, 13%? So probably 20% or more.
20%. It went up higher than that.
Okay. So now.
I'm not looking at it no more.
In a sense, that's just on this trade. That happened in less than 5 minutes. In less than 5 minutes.
Well, when I see double insides, that's strong indication for me. So I'm going to jump in. I'm not going to just sit here and watch that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And you know, Google's my baby. I love Google. It's one of my favorites. But for me, I don't have to wait for it to hit target. I'm okay with certain percentages, and I'm good.
Yeah.
See, he got diamond hands. He'll hold. And I'd be like, okay, I see a percentage. I'm putting my trail and stop in. And I'm okay because I have a trail stop. It's more than what I anticipated, and let it go.
Yeah.
So
follow your rules when you're trading.
So damn, we just play Google up and down all day. We didn't even look at nobody else today.
I really wanted to. I feel like Baba.
I'm out. I'm not playing nothing else with you today.
No.
I did my trades for the day.
See, look, Baba.
You know what?
Baba.
For me to tell you how done I am, I'm just log it off.
Baba have a bullish divergence, babe. Look.
I understand.
Look.
You take that in your own account.
All right.
I'm out with this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Well, it have to break first.
I'm gonna go make my son pancakes.
Can you make me pancakes? No, I can't eat.
You can't eat pancakes.
Man,
guys,
3 more days.
Almost done with 75 hard.
3 more days. So
but we're gonna start trading 75.
So whoever, yeah. So I'm gonna be running something called 75. Trading 75 hard. That's just me kind of
restarting 75.
It's not necessarily restarting 75 hard, but it's also using the 75 hard model, but pertaining to trading.
Yeah.
Because your trading psychology is very important, right? Personal development is very important. And what you do affects how you trade. So you have to be disciplined in your life to be disciplined in your trade. And I find that the more disciplined I become in my life, the more better I become as a trader. So with that, I can't stop. I am now addicted to the process, right? So with that, we're gonna start something called 75 trading 75 hard. That's gonna include exercises. So you still have to work out. It's gonna be where you work out. Probably we haven't come up with the total script for it, but it's gonna be very similar to 75 hard, where you're working out at least 3 to 4 days a week. No,
It's not as strict.
It's not as strict.
Yes. No alcohol.
I'm not gonna say no alcohol.
Well, 75 hard, you do no alcohol.
75 hard, you do no alcohol, but I'm not gonna say no alcohol for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no alcohol for this. I'm gonna say no alcohol for this. Plus, walking or being outside in nature is very important.
Yeah, mental health.
Mental health matters, okay? And we could see that we're seeing that a lot more. So mental health matters. So, being outside for at least 45 minutes. And then that's going to be incorporated actually probably every day.
Yeah. Why not?
I'll say every day. You need that. Especially I wouldn't even say every day. I would say 5 days out of the week.
Yeah, that's fine.
5 days out of the week, and that would include the trading days. I would say every trading day, because now you could go and you could reflect on your trades. So a couple of things, make sure you're drinking water, all that stuff. So I'm going to be posting that and let people know. And then if you want to join in on the
in the Discord, we created like a health and lifestyle section, so we'll start putting that stuff in there in due time.
Yeah, in due time. So, guys, my hard cutoff is at 11 o'clock.
For those that don't know, we trade from 9:30 to 11 o'clock. We get off early if we hit our trades and we're satisfied. Some days we get up at 10. Some days we get up at 10:30. Some days we get up at 11. But we are off by 11. We are done.
And then once I trade and I make my trade and I'm good for the day, then I go in teaching mode. Right. So I'll just like how I was explaining this scenario with you guys, where right now we're approaching the first target. I go into teaching mode. So now I start teaching how to take trades or why I take trades. And I'll go over the trades.
Look like target just hit.
So target is approaching right now and we're almost hitting target. Okay.
Pretty much hit it.
Man, Baba looks amazing to the upside. But I'm not even gonna stress that right now. So target just hit on Google. Pay attention. We could reject right here and come back down on Google. Why do I say that? All right, I'm gonna explain why I say it might reject and come back down. We might see a little bit of fall right now. If you notice, we have 2 minutes left on this 1 hour candle.
Let me let him go into teaching mode. I have a child that I like to take care of this morning.
We have 2 minutes left on this 1 hour candle, and the 1 hour candle is hidden on the 200 MA. So we can reject from that 200 MA and drop back down. We can retrace back down. So we want to make sure that we're doing that, okay? We want to make sure that we're taking profits right here, or taking profits close, having a trailing stop or something along that line. Now we can push and continue up, but we might drop down first and then bounce back up. Okay, so you have to pay attention and make sure that you're taking your profits. Earlier this morning, why we took the trade because it broke the day, and because it broke the day, we know that VWAP was the first target, followed by the 200 on the daily, followed by up here, which is the body of this candle, right? So those are the targets. Can it get there today? It can. Will it? We don't know. It could get there next week. It could get there tomorrow. But what we know is we want to make sure that we're taking profits when we see profits. We want to make sure that we're not being greedy and wait, and then it might not happen that day. Okay? So this is where the 1 hour ends. So we have 1 minute left in this 1 hour. If you notice, we have 1 minute left in this 1 hour. Baba, I still have Baba on here because Baba did something to where it broke the day to go up. So it broke the day to go up, and now it's retracing and hitting that 50%. So it can go back up, but it also can continue to drop down. So right now, my hopes of getting into Baba is probably slim to none. But I'm also seeing, oh, that's not a bullish divergence on a 15 minute. I thought there was, but it was on a 15 minute. It's on a 5 minute. So here we go. Google popped up above there. So Google hit profit, guys. So that was a trade. If you guys didn't get into any trade, if you guys weren't in the trade with us this morning, right? You could have took this trade just now with my wife, because my wife took this trade and she got in and she took profit, right? But we just hit profit right there, just like that. It's not complicated. It's just you have to make sure that if you have your rules, you keep your rules, you stick to your rules, and when you see your setups, you take your trades. Okay, you don't hesitate, you take the trade. As soon as my wife saw the break, she took the trade. Okay, the stop loss was down here, it never hit stop loss, so that right there was a great trade. Okay. um yeah, guys, does anybody have questions for me right now? We're probably gonna break day high. Just pay attention to this right here, because we're right here. Again, we can retrace back down, but we can also break up. So be careful. Be very careful right here, guys. Be very careful right here. We just broke the hour, so we could continue to push. We could continue to push right now. A way of getting in the trade too is you could take the trade right here, and then your stop loss will be the bottom of this candle. So if the candle come back down and turn red, then you're out. But right now, look at Google pushing. Google is at new highs. The target is going to be up here for the day. All right. So if you even took the trade right here, you're golden right now. Golden. Any questions for me? Let me check the Discord. See if anybody have any questions. Discord. I can't see it. Let's see. All right. All right. So I don't have any questions in here. All right. So Google is approaching the target, guys, right there. So when I looked at Google contracts, just to give you, because I was gonna buy the contract, and I'm like, my wife jumped into it, so leave it alone. Those contracts were at 40. The 175 call was at $48. Right now it's at $73. So that's 50. That's almost a 50% move. Just like that. Almost a 50% move. So with that, guys, if you guys don't have any questions for me, I'm gonna call it a day. But just make sure that sometimes when you're in here, guys, if you have questions, you don't understand something, I'll get to a teaching moment. But if I'm in a trade right away, I'm not gonna answer anything. So when I'm not in trades and I'm just watching, then I'll answer questions. So if you don't understand something, and I might just throw that and be like, all right, let's go. What do you guys want to know? I'll always explain why I take my trades and where I'm taking my trades to and where my stop losses are. I'll always do that. Okay. Because I need to know for myself and I need to verbalize it as well. So with that, guys, hope y'all have an amazing rest of your day. Today was a great day as far as trading wise. We did well over 100% on Google, and I did what, 60% on, I did 2 trades on Google. One of them was a swing from yesterday. I kept a runner from yesterday. I kept a couple runners from yesterday. And I had the trades that I did today. Those trades that I did today were over 60%. The swing was well over 100%. If I had kept them, man, I don't even know how much they would be right now. So that's why I say options trading, once you understand it, can definitely change your life. All right, guys. So with that, hope y'all have an amazing rest of your day. Trade, if you're gonna trade safely. And then, all right, guys. Talk to y'all later.